Welcome back to my channel. I'm Advocate Manjit. In today's video, we'll see as to what documentation needs to be done while you're filing in for a suit and the sequence in which you need to attach those documents as well. So the documentation starts with a copy of the plaint. Now, plaint is nothing but a legal document which is necessary for you to initiate a suit in the court of law. So basically, it's a written complaint of the complainant, who is also called as the plaintiff in the court of law. Now, plaint is always called as Exhibit 1. That's the first document in your case file as well. So that becomes your Exhibit 1. The plaint is always followed by an affidavit in support and the verification. Now comes Exhibit 2, which is always the VP, which is nothing but Vakalatnama or Vakalat Patra. Now, what is a VP? It's the power of attorney that your client is giving you as an advocate to appear and fight the case on his or her behalf. So that's a Vakalatnama, which is always Exhibit 2. Now comes Exhibit 3, which is the list of documents. So when you're filing in a complaint, you would of course have certain documents in support of your complaint. So you need to make a list of all the documents that you're filing in the court. That's called as list of documents. That is Exhibit number 3. So on the first page, you will have the list, and onto that list, you will also attach all the documents, a copy of all the documents that you have mentioned in the list one by one in the same sequence that you have mentioned in your list. Now, in civil matters, all the documents that you attach at the back of each document minded, not on, at the last of all the documents, every document at the back of it, you need to attach a docket. Now, what's a docket is basically it has the name of the court in which the case is going on, or in which court you're presenting the plaint, the name of the parties in short, the date on which it is filed, and the signature or the name of the advocate on behalf of the plaintiff. Now, why do we attach this docket is because in a situation where the document is misplaced, it is easy to be attached back to the file from where it's been missing if you have the docket at the back of it, so that anybody finding it, or if it's misplaced somewhere else, then it can be brought back to the same file, the correct file rather, easily. So that's why we attach a docket. So that's your Exhibit 3, the list of documents, along with all the documents with the docket at the back. Docket only comes into picture if it's a civil case, if it's a civil matter. Now comes Exhibit 4. Exhibit 4 is always the memo of address. So your client's address has to be mentioned on it as an official residential or any official address of your client, of the plaintiff. So that becomes Exhibit number 4. Then you have Exhibit number 5, which is always and always an application for any interim order if you're praying for in the court of law. So if I have to give examples of interim order, it can be an interim order application wherein you're asking the court to fix a standard rent while the pendency of the suit. It can be an application for injunctions, status quo. It can be an application for, maintenance, So anything that you're asking the court for as an interim relief while the pendency of the suit is called as an application for an interim order, and that always becomes your Exhibit number 5. So Exhibit number 5 is always this application for interim order. So all these documents which I have spoken about right now, right from Exhibit 1, which is your copy of the plaint, then Exhibit 2, which is your VP, Exhibit 3, which is your list of documents along with all the documents, Exhibit 4, the memo of address, and Exhibit 5, if there is any application for an interim order if you're praying for before the court of law. So all of this becomes one set of documents that you need to submit in the court. Now you need to make a copy of this documents, this set of documents that you would be filing and you would have to give an additional copy for the other party as well. So if I have only one party which is on the opposite side, then I have to submit one extra copy of all the documents, the entire set basically, so that it can be given to the advocate of the other party for reference. If there are 4 people on the other side, then I have to give 4 extra copies to the court, so that each copy can be given to the advocates of the other parties respectively for their reference. So once the set of the documents are ready, you will have to approach the registrar's office, which is in the court's premises. Your client, that is the plaintiff, has to be present on the date of the filing and carry his Aadhaar card original. At the same time, carry all the original documents, copies of which you have attached in the list of documents. So what does the registrar do? He would first check all the originals, because you're not filing the originals, you're filing copies of it. So he's going to verify that after looking at the originals. At the same time, if you remember, you are attaching, an affidavit in support of the plaint. And if there is any application for interim order, you have an affidavit again in support of that. So that has to be affirmed as well. So the registrar would, talk to your client or the plaintiff rather, ask their name, would check the original Aadhaar card and affirm the affidavit as well. So once this process is complete, wherein the registrar has verified all the original documents of the plaintiff, also affirmed his or her affidavit, so the entire set then goes to the back-end team, wherein your documents are scrutinized. Again, the application is scrutinized, and eventually there is a case number that is assigned to the complaint that you made before the court. Once a case number is assigned to you, then there's a message that is sent out. An SMS is sent out to the advocate and the plaintiff's mobile number, which has the details of the case number as well as the next or the first hearing date rather. So once you receive the message, you automatically come to know what your case number is and what exactly is the first hearing date, so that the advocate as well as the plaintiff can be present on that particular day while the proceedings before the court starts. So that was a short video on how exactly you can go about doing the documentation work when you're filing in for a suit before court. I hope you guys find this informative and useful. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel to keep me motivated so that I bring in more videos for you guys. Also press the bell icon so that you receive the notification of my next video. I'll see you all in my next video. Till then, keep learning.